It's shout-out time. WMCT-TV would like to thank our sponsors for supporting community media here in Marlborough, Massachusetts. Drumet Hair Salon and Day Spa, offering services including extensions and keratin smoothing, coloring and blonding, precision cutting, and more. Drumet Hair Salon and Day Spa is located at 31 Spring Hill Ave in Marlborough, Massachusetts. The Coffee Loft. Coffee and community is their motto, as they serve up lattes, cold brew, tea, sandwiches, and pastries too. The Coffee Loft is open 7 days a week at 406 Lincoln Street, here in Marlborough. The Vin Bin, bringing you the best in wine, cheese, brew, and gourmet sandwiches for 20 years and counting. The Vin Bin is located at 91 Main Street in Marlborough. Author and illustrator Mark Martirosian, host of TV's Drawing with Mark on WMCT-TV. Mark is offering free downloadable activity pages for kids of all ages. Email pennyarcadecreative@gmail.com for more information. Leah Owen, marketing and business consultant. Leah's team members and partners share her belief that great organizations, from businesses to nonprofits and more, deserve to be seen, heard, and celebrated. From social media strategy to community events, this boutique marketing agency helps local brands and organizations grow with purpose and personality.
Hello and welcome to the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce City Council Debates. My name is Michelle Mercier and I'm the President and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, and we are pleased to bring you this year's debate series. We are very pleased to do that, and our Chamber is a proud supporter of both businesses and residents of Marlborough, and we appreciate the opportunity to host this debate. Before I get started, I would like to thank the City of Marlborough, the District Education Center, WMCT-TV, our moderator, our timekeeper, and our panelists for their efforts in bringing you this debate tonight. Also, thank you to the candidates for who have put in the effort into running for a chance to serve as your city councils of the city of Marlborough. I'd also like to take a moment to share a few upcoming events that are happening with the Chamber of Commerce in case you were interested in knowing more. We have a fantastic events, a Veterans Appreciation event happening on November 6th at 4 o'clock at the American Heritage Museum. It is to not be missed. We do a couple hours of honoring our veterans, and we have a fantastic keynote speaker who is Bob Patton, a descendant of General Patton. So even more exciting news with that. We have no shortage of other events coming up. If you'd like to check out our website, is marlboroughchamber.org. We'd greatly appreciate it, and feel free to join us at any time. Okay, next up, I'd like to introduce our timekeeper and government affairs chair, Emily Greenwood, president at EKG Networking.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you, Michelle. I second Michelle's thank you to all involved in making these debates happen. Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce and the Government Affairs host these debates to help residents make an informed decision. Early voting begins Saturday, October 25th through October 31st at City Hall, 140 Main Street. The Marlborough Biennial Municipal Election will be held Tuesday, November 4th. Tonight's forum is being broadcast live via WMCT-TV and on Comcast Channel 8, Verizon Channel 34, and streamed on high definition on Verizon 2134. Please don't look at me on high def. Thank you. And streamed live through WMCT-TV. The recording will be made available on WMCT-TV's website and facebook.com/WMCT-TV following the event. Our moderator for this evening will be Darlene Welch of Minuteman Press. Darlene has been a business owner in Marlborough at Minuteman Press since 2011. She's a member of the board of directors of the Regional Chamber and was the Massachusetts 4-H horse program communications coach for 15 years and helped students become national champions. Please welcome our moderator to introduce our candidates, panelists, and explain the rules to begin the debate. Thank you, Darlene.
Welcome, everyone. I would like to start by introducing the candidates and panelists for this evening's event. First, the panelists in alphabetical order. We have Sem Arkanian from Arkanian Law. We have Molly Brodeur Nesbitt from Marlborough's Auto Body, and Julie Brown Dahlbeck from Marlborough Wellness Center. All are business owners in the city of Marlborough and members of the MRCC. Next are candidates in the debate. Please note political affiliations do not matter in the city of Marlborough's municipal election. Thank you. For Ward 5, we have John Irish, Ward 5 Councilor, and Michael Baker. For the purpose of this debate, I will address all of you by your first name. Before we begin, I'd like to go over the format for this debate. First, members of the audience. You are only allowed to clap when a candidate has finished their introduction and at the end when they have completed their closing statements. All other times, I ask you to be courteous and remain silent. Candidates, you each have 2 minutes to introduce yourself. The first round, you'll each be asked questions by our panelist. You will have 1 minute for your response and 30 seconds for a rebuttal. Your second round, each candidate will ask each other a respectful question. Again, 1 minute for response and 30 seconds for rebuttal. If there is time after this segment, we will go back to the panel for additional questions. At the conclusion of the debate, all candidates will have 2 minutes for their closing statements, which will be in reverse alphabetical order. I ask each of you to be concise with your answers and respectful of your time with each other. Okay, I would like to begin with our opening statements, and we're going to start with Michael Baker.
Hi, I'm Mike Baker. I am a lifelong Marlborough resident. I grew up on Howland Street in Ward 5. I now live on Gibbon Street with my wife Janice, my son Jacob, and my daughter Sophia. I had a great experience growing up in Marlborough. My wife and I are both proudly from the Marlborough school system. I played sports just about all my life. I now coach. I am very active in the community. I volunteer my time when I can. And I'm looking forward to hopefully gaining your vote on November 4th.
Okay, thank you. And John.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. My name is John Irish, candidate for City Council Ward 5. I'd like to thank WMCT-TV and the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this debate. I'm a father of a wonderful son who's a proud graduate of Marlborough High and a daughter-in-law, grandfather of a beautiful baby girl, and I've lived in the city for over 30 years, all in Ward 5. I have over 20 years experience in municipal government. I'm employed by the town of Sudbury in the assessor's office as an analyst. I'm currently serving my 6th term as your Ward 5 City Councilor for a wonderful city of Marlborough, where you can work, live, play, and raise a family. I have chaired the Finance Committee, Vice Chair Public Service Committee, Vice Chair Public Safety Committee, reviewing the city's operating budget submitted by the mayor with municipal department heads, reviewing capital projects and mid-year transfers request. It is such an honor and a pleasure to serve the residents of Ward 5. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to begin with the questions, and we're going to start with Julie Dahlbeck.
All right. How do you plan to maintain a business-friendly climate in the city?
And this is for John.
Well, first of all, you try to attract businesses in. It could be keeping the personal property tax lower. That's one thing. Also, in some cases, if you have the ability to do some rezoning and bring businesses in. One example was the Lost Shoe. They were going to be doing the grounding of their coffee beans. It wasn't zoned in that particular area. Working with Board of Health and the City Council, going forward, we were able to accomplish that. And of course, I would always be leaning on MEDC for their toolbox as well for helping small businesses come into the city and be prosperous.
Michael?
I think Marlborough has become a destination, you know, with the boardwalk, the Apex. So I think businesses really want to come here, and we have to give them the breaks that they're going to require. And I think we also have to get modern businesses in here to keep Main Street nice and vibrant. I think Pico is a step in the right direction. Wemmy's, Wellies, it's improving, but it can get better.
Thank you. Okay, question 2 is Molly, and the first question is directed at Michael.
We understand that each development was approved at different times and may all come online together. What is your vision for city planning going forward?
Well, I think from the people that I've spoken to, people are nervous because there are so many new units coming in at just about the same time. So I would be in favor of slowing that down and not approving any until we can figure out that we have enough police, fire, DPW workers, that the infrastructure can support it. I know we need growth. I understand that, but it's scary with the traffic and people are nervous about that. 2,000, I think 2,000 units brings a lot of new people.
Thank you. And John?
Thank you. Well, I wouldn't be supporting hiring a city planner. I'd be certainly leaning on MEDC or MAPC. And one of the reasons is you do need to attract growth. And that new growth will help with the city budget going forward. The other things is that you do need that new growth, and you need to, what I look at is this new building or this new structure, is this going to help to revitalize the neighborhood? So you look at that, you look at what the revenue stream is going to be for that particular housing complex, or it could be hopefully manufacturer or pharmaceutical. And you look at all those options, and I think the residents will accept that when they're coming in, having this with the new growth. One thing with some of the new apartments, they're for young professionals. A lot, believe it or not, a lot of young professionals these days aren't driving vehicles, so that may not add as much to the traffic as we all think. But you do need to welcome that new growth into the city.
Thank you. Okay, question number 3, and this is Sem, and we're going to start with you, John.
Thank you.
So my question has to do with roads and infrastructure. What are your plans to address the existing infrastructure needs, such as roadways and aging underground utilities?
Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Very good question. Well, in Ward 5, I'm certainly quite the advocate for doing any road work and infrastructure. We do get some funds for Chapter 70 funds, Chapter 90 funds for the roads. And accepting some of those roadways increases that amount of money that the city does get. But also every year the city is bonding capital bonds to do some of these roads and infrastructures. And yes, you have to do it in a timely manner because these things are very costly. But that is certainly one option I would certainly be looking at more of.
Thank you. And Michael?
Well, you have to figure out the worst roads, get them first, and if you're going to do it right. Don't just, sugarcoat it, put a layer on, dig up the road, make sure all the pipes, so you don't have to go back in and dig up the pipes again in a year or so. Pave them, done for however many years we can get out of them. And then next year, start on another road and just be in a constant circle. All the roads are always going to need repair. Some roads are going to need repair throughout the city. We just got to do the best we can.
All right. Thank you. Okay. And for our 4th question, we're going back to Julie, and she's going to, you're going to start with you, Michael.
Okay.
Being somebody with a background in emergency medical services, in regarding to emergency planning and serving the growing city, what is your plan to bring a West Side fire station to the city, and how would you do it?
Well, I think the first thing that needs to be addressed, I've spoken with some firefighters, some emergency personnel, and staffing right now is an issue. So I think phase 1 would be to make it a 24/7, 365 position, get a 3rd member, an officer on the ladder crew, and then we can worry about a West Side fire station, because if we build a West Side fire station and don't have the staff, then we're going to have a beautiful building with no staff in it.
Thank you.
Thank
John?
you. Great, thank you. Very good question. I can say that the West End Fire Station will get built. We have the money already in there to purchase the land, and starting the new green district. Those mitigation funds have been going into that account. So I can certainly say that that West End Fire Station will be built. And I know with Mayor Dumas, he was on that fire station building committee. Each and every council has looked and reviewed at all those committees. Like the station on Pleasant Street, believe it or not, that gets one of the most calls in the city for such a small station. And believe me, the city council takes care of the police and the fire, and that station will get built.
Okay, thank you. And this concludes this first segment. So we're going to move on to the candidates asking each other a question. And we're going to start with John.
Thank you. Thank you. My question for Mr. Baker. 2 years ago, you were a candidate in the mayoral race because you said it was time for a change. With that said, there were years that you did not vote in our local elections. Now you are a candidate for City Council Ward 5. What would you advocate for change?
I would say, first of all, yeah, I didn't vote in the election. That's on me. Inexcusable. But I think some people feel like they're not being heard. They feel like their voice doesn't matter. They're scared. I've said it before. They're scared about all these new apartments coming in. I talked to a woman today, Dolores, that spoke at the city council meeting, and she's scared. She's scared of the traffic. She's scared about understaffed fire and police departments. I think those people need to be listened to.
Okay, thank you. Michael, your turn.
John, I noticed that I've listened to your speech, and I've read all your articles, and I've noticed that you didn't mention any of the senior centers, even though we have one at 240, 99, and Crowley Drive. And what is your message to those people that feel unattended?
Thank you. Very good question. Well, I know for 240 on Main Street, I have certainly a lot of friends there. Unfortunately, some good ones have recently passed away. But I do know for 240 Main Street, working with then Mayor Vigent and Trish Bernard, working on to get a new roof system. When they had a little bit of a violent issue one evening, we met with the residents on 240 Main Street to be able to, and work with Mark Gibbs in the tech department to be able to increase getting funding. The mayor found funding to be able to do more video surveillances of 240 Main Street, and also having the police station there as well. So yes, I'm always involved with the senior centers and the 240 Main Street because those are wonderful residents, and we want to keep them protected in their homes.
Thank you. Okay, John? You can ask a question.
Oh, another question.
You can. Look at that.
My question, Mr. Baker, I know that we've been talking a lot about, I know you said that we want to increase fire and police and some road and infrastructure. So the question would be, how would you propose to get revenue to pay for some of those items going forward in the operational budget?
Well, I would hope that all the apartments that we're building would offset some of that cost, and also get more businesses in here. The more people, we're going to need more businesses. We're going to need more restaurants. We're going to need businesses like tattoo parlors or estheticians. I'm sorry, I don't know if I said that right. More modern businesses. And I think that'll help. We're bringing in a younger crowd, and the younger crowd want different businesses.
Okay, thank you. And Michael?
John, totally not your fault, but you've run unopposed for, I think, 5 terms?
I think that is correct.
Yeah. Do you think in some ways that made you a little complacent?
Absolutely 100% not. Believe it or not, over the years, residents would call me and they would say, oh, you're not running unopposed. Running unopposed does not mean we're not working, we're not meeting with the residents, we're not going to building committee meetings, going to MEDC events. So to answer the question, no, absolutely not. The residents of Ward 5 have treated me so well, calling me with ideas to go forward with the city, and I respect every one of them. And believe me, I don't take this for granted. Every day, I am very blessed that I am the Ward 5 City Councilor.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to our last segment, which is we're going to let our panelists ask you questions again. So we're going to start with Julie, and her first question is for John.
Thank you.
Okay. We have seen an increase in homelessness in the country, Massachusetts, and here in Marlborough. Do you have a plan for this challenge?
That is a very good question. I know that Governor Healy has made some tweaks to the shelter in place, and I think that will kind of help a little bit going forward. But there's no question that is a major concern, not only for the health of residents that are dealing with drug addiction, homelessness, some could be older, elderly, single moms, single dads, and that burden falls on them. The problem with some of the tweaks is we're already spending about $800 million. More than likely, at the end of this, could be over $1 billion. And I don't know if we're getting every penny for that. So to answer that question, there's a lot of things we need to do. We do have the Roland House in Marlborough. We do have places for that. Not that every resident wishes to go there, but maybe that is a possibility that we need to you're seeing some hospitals upgrading their buildings, maybe something like that in some of the spaces there that could be places for shelters. But yes, that is an absolutely wonderful question. It's quite a tough one to take on, but yes, thank you.
Thank you. Michael.
Well, we have a lot of empty buildings that maybe we could take advantage of. Also, why don't we call the governor, since the Holiday Inn, that's empty now, and they put up the migrants in there, and why not call her up and ask her, make that a shelter for the homeless? Make the state pay for it.
Okay. Thank you. Molly, and you will ask Michael.
Okay, believe it or not, it's going to be time to set the 2026 tax rates. So here in Marlborough, we're preparing to do that. And when we set the rate, we're setting it for businesses and residents. What is your philosophy on tax rates for next year and going forward?
Well, we have some of the lowest taxes around, but they are going up. And I think if we can give businesses a break and get them in here, that'll keep the personal taxes down.
Okay, and John.
Thank you. Well, one thing that I certainly have learned from President Ossing is we want to try to keep that shift at 1.45. We saw the city of Boston go to 1.75. Very dangerous because it had to get approved by the legislation that did not. Yes, one of the things to work on offsetting it, and maybe the residents don't like to hear that often, but new growth will help to bring that rate down. But yes, my philosophy is always try to keep it to that 1.45 shift and trying to go forward. And the good thing with the city of Marlborough, we're well below the levy ceiling limit on that compared to like a town of Hudson. So those are my things going forward. Definitely you bring in new growth. You bring in pharmaceuticals manufacturing. That is an amazing thing to do. Also, believe it or not, having and working with the TIF program, that will bring in companies and businesses, and certainly we would get that new growth from building permits and things like that going forward.
Thank you. Okay, and Sam, your next question.
Well, certainly it's obvious that there are a lot of issues facing the city and the council. I'd like you to describe what you feel is the most urgent local issue you see and your plan to address it.
This is for you, John.
So right now, it's always road and infrastructure. And certainly right now, it is the West End Fire Station. And then coming up will be the Richer School, of course. So for the fire station, like I said before, the money is there. Depending with new council, if we'd be able to do a bond to construct it. But that will get done. So that's always good. The Richer School, we're going through that process right now, meeting with the building committee. We had our joint session with the school committee, and we approved where the school was going to be built on site, with the mayor's help as well with the school committee. And certainly with infrastructure and roads, again, that is a tough task. But the city does bond every year, and the city engineer, we have a wonderful DPW, and they assess each and every road every year going forward what needs the most urgent approach to getting resurfaced and reconstructed. So my philosophy on that would be, in those cases, you would have to do some bonding to get those funds to get those roads completed.
Thank you. And Michael?
Safety for the residents, making sure the fire department is fully staffed, the police department is fully staffed, DPW workers. We have people parking on sidewalks. I heard from a resident on Chestnut Street so that their families can't walk. The residents at 240 Main Street want 6 more parking spaces. We have a state plot and a city plot right there. We can't have them trying to cross the street at their age. Some of them are barely driving, but they're driving. So I think safety from the growth is a huge issue for most people.
Thank you. And for our last question of the evening, this will be Julie, and we're going to start with you, Michael.
Well, we're going to do a fun one. This was a fun one. What was the last series you streamed?
Oh, I streamed a Charlie Hunnam show, Monster, I think it was called. Yeah, very creepy.
Good answer.
And John?
Oh, goodness. Good thing my son's not in this room right now. I do not do any streaming of movies or anything. I am one that, I do the history channels, I do the business channels, I do every sports channel. So really, I'm not streaming any movies and things like that. But talking with my son and his friends, they seem to be going back, believe it or not, looking at things from the archives, like when it was the Jaws 50th anniversary. Amazing that they were doing that. And I'm like, yeah, I saw that, So no, honestly, I'm not doing a lot of streaming, doing a lot of reading and looking at other items for viewership on television. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Well, this concludes all our questions and answer portion of the evening. So it's now time for your closing statement. And we are going to start with you, John.
Thank you. Good evening. When I was first elected, I said I would hit the ground running to continue the city's economic development and success. Fund road work and infrastructure projects, all with a common sense approach to city government. That is exactly what I've done each and every day. That is from being a member of the Marlborough Public Library Building Committee, representing the City Council. The committee worked with architects and library director to move forward and be prepared to apply for the grant from the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners. The effort was an amazing success. The Marlborough Public Library received the funding for the renovation and was even able to extend their parking footprint. Working with the City Council, Planning Board and MEDC on the rezoning of Lincoln Street to create a mixed zone use led to private investment and revitalization of the neighborhood. From canvassing Harrison Place with the Community Development Authority to receive a community block grant, the funding was used to reconstruct Harrison Place at no cost to the city of Marlborough. I worked tirelessly with the mayor, DPW commissioner, and the city engineer, and I will continue to work with them to advocate for road infrastructure projects all in Ward 5. It's a privilege and a pleasure to represent your interests in such a wonderful city. I'm a strong believer that family and community is everything, and it takes experience to get results. I have that experience, and I get results. I respectfully ask for your vote and support on November 4th. Thank you.
Thank you. And Michael.
All right, Marlborough. Very different people. Councilor Irish is a very accomplished, very smart man, obviously very great with numbers, well-spoken. And then there's me. I'm just a regular guy. I'm out here trying to make my community better every day. I'm out on the streets. I'm talking to the people. I'm doing everything I can. I want to make Marlborough a better place to live for everybody. We seem to be going towards maybe a younger crowd, maybe the single people, but there's still a lot of families here that love Marlborough, that are nervous. They want to be represented, and I'm not going to tell you what's best for Marlborough. I want you to tell me what's best for Marlborough. We can work together, and hopefully on November 4th, I'll see you at Masonic Hall, and you can vote for Baker, and we can make a little change in Marlborough. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank our candidates and our panelists for a very informative debate. And I hope all of you get out and vote on November 4th. Thank you.
We clap now?
It's shout-out time. WMCT-TV would like to thank our sponsors for supporting community media here in Marlborough, Massachusetts. Drumet Hair Salon and Day Spa, offering services including extensions and keratin smoothing, coloring and blonding, precision cutting, and more. Drumet Hair Salon and Day Spa is located at 31 Spring Hill Ave in Marlborough, Massachusetts. The Coffee Loft. Coffee and community is their motto, as they serve up lattes, cold brew, tea, sandwiches, and pastries too. The Coffee Loft is open 7 days a week at 406 Lincoln Street, here in Marlborough. The Vin Bin, bringing you the best in wine, cheese, brew, and gourmet sandwiches for 20 years and counting. The Vin Bin is located at 91 Main Street in Marlborough. Author and illustrator Mark Martirosian, host of TV's Drawing with Mark on WMCT-TV. Mark is offering free downloadable activity pages for kids of all ages. Email pennyarcadecreative@gmail.com for more information. Leah Owen, marketing and business consultant. Leah's team members and partners share her belief that great organizations, from businesses to nonprofits and more, deserve to be seen, heard, and celebrated. From social media strategy to community events, this boutique marketing agency helps local brands and organizations grow with purpose and personality.